Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, what's up? My name is vianney.strick. Thank you so much for being here. As you guys can see by the title, you guys love these videos. I think I've done this a couple times, so I'll definitely make a playlist for it. We are doing a full face of $10 and under makeup, but not just whatever makeup is $10 and under. I always try to pick out products that I love and stand by. So these are all amazing products, full face of amazing products, $10 and under. So hopefully it's helpful and you guys enjoy this video. If you do enjoy this video, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to join my squad. Let's get into it. Okay, so I actually, not only do I always pick products that I really like as well, but I try not to repeat. I look at my old videos and I try not to repeat like products because I feel like sometimes these videos can get very repetitive if like the same products are being used every time. So these are like some newer, some older, but I don't think I've talked about any of them in these types of videos. But obviously you've probably heard me talk about them in other types of videos. Okay, so for brow gel, I personally think that this product is very underrated. This is the Milani Stay Put Liquid Brow Wax. This is kind of almost like a dupe of the Rare Beauty. I should probably test them side by side. This is one of those brow gels that will put your brows in place, have a very strong hold, but not get like super crunchy or flaky. See how it's just grabbing on to all of my brows? I like it because the formula is a really nice consistency through and through. At first, it's like very flexible to use. It's not very hardening, but it's also not watery, which also definitely like puts your brows in place. But once you let them like set for maybe like 30 seconds, they do not move. I think that this brow gel is just through and through just like really nice. Not just like at the drugstore, but just in general. It's one of my favorite brow gels, and look at the difference that it makes my face look so lifted. I also really like the shape and size of the wand. It's like small enough to get in there, but big enough to like kind of do your eyebrows quickly. Everything about it is just amazing. Alright, so brows are done. I do like to let them like fully dry before I ever do anything to them, so we will come back to them, but don't they look amazing? Moving on to primer. To be honest, I don't use primer all the time, but 99% of the time that I do, I always use the e.l.f. Power Grip, and it's $10 on the dot, and it is just so freaking nice. You know what? Everything about this primer is just so good. It's so hydrating, grippy, dewy. It's like everything you want and more. And me personally, I like to kind of do a mixture of rubbing and then patting. I like to rub just to kind of get it everywhere, and then patting to really, I don't know, I feel like I get a more like even coverage of this primer because obviously it's clear, so you don't really know where you're putting it, but patting it in really helps. And obviously this is a sticky primer. It's a hydrating, gripping primer. I know you guys know all about this, but if you're looking for a primer that makes your makeup last all day, it grips onto it, it gives you a little bit of a dewy finish, no shimmer, and it's hydrating. We love this. e.l.f. We love e.l.f. When I was trying to think of like what foundation to use, there's like not that many foundations that are under $10 that are like super nice. So this is going to be a little bit of a throwback, but I haven't used this foundation in these types of videos. So I'm excited to like maybe refresh your memory of this foundation. I have two because I think I'm going to mix the shades. This is from Profusion. It's a Feel Good Skin Foundation. I haven't used this in a long time, but I remember really liking it. It's described as a hyaluronic acid, medium to full coverage, natural satin finish, SPF 15. I do have the shade Tan 1 Neutral, which is like pretty good for me, but it's a little bit peachy, and then Tan 3 Warm Yellow, which is like the better undertone, so I'm gonna mix a little bit of both. I'm starting to lose a lot of like my natural tan in the winter, which sucks. Okay, this is a little dark, but it's the right undertone, so I think we can definitely make it work. Remember that we're matching the neck, and we're also gonna lighten it up with a concealer, okay? Please don't come at me in the comments just yet. If you're gonna come at me in the comments, wait till the end of the video to make sure that whatever you're saying is a like complete thought. Let's blend this out. I'm gonna tap it out, and I wanna remember how much I like this. It smells really nice. So far it is blending out very easily. It's definitely giving me that medium to full coverage with a satin finish. Nothing too glowy, nothing too greasy looking. You guys know I like something, I love a satin. I think satin and natural finish is definitely more like my vibe. I can do dewy, but I just prefer something a little bit more in the middle, and Right now, this looks absolutely stunning. You know, it really is giving me that like medium to full coverage, but it still kind of looks like skin, doesn't it? I really like this. And it's hydrating, so this might be perfect for us dry girlies for the winter time. For the winter time. For the winter time. I feel like Profusion is so underrated half the time. If you don't know where to find Profusion, of course you can find it on the Profusion website, but you can also find it at Walmart. Looking at the cream bronzer, I picked out two. They're the same, but they're different finishes. We're talking about the e.l.f. Putty Bronzers. I feel like we forgot all about these, and these are actually very, very nice. I have the regular Putty Bronzer in the shade Golden Days, which is such a nice formula. And then I also have the Luminous Putty Bronzer in the shade Seaside Shimmer. But you know what? Now that I think about it, I think we're going to go maybe... I prefer this shade, but I think this finish might be like more fall-y. This is so nice. I'm also a big fan of their blushes. We're not gonna be using their blushes today because I'm definitely not trying to like be very repetitive. I tried to like pick out different things from different brands, because this could have been just like a full face of e.l.f. or a full face of Essence or LA Girl, you know, all like the more affordable brands. I wanted to give it like a good little mix. You know what I mean? I get so many questions about this brush, and it's so cheap and it's so nice. It's from Alter Ego. It's the brush 3, but I believe you can only buy these in like a brush set, but it's so inexpensive and it's worth it. It's such a nice formula. It is pigmented, but it's so blendable, and I literally just dug my whole brush in it. And see how like it's blending out like a dream? You guys, I haven't used this bronzer in a while. I remember how much I like it. I feel like a lot of people would like this because for the girlies like that like a lot of pigment, it's extremely buildable. But for the people that maybe don't want to go too ham with it, it's, again, buildable. So you can go with a light hand or a hard hand, and either way, you're still going to get just such a beautiful finish. It's such a beautiful, like, satin type of finish, and I just think it just looks so good on everyone. And it just works for so many skin types. I love it, and it's so inexpensive. Time for the most underrated concealer ever. Let me know if you guys want me to do like a full face of underrated makeup or just underrated makeup in general, because this concealer, sorry, I have a freaking hair on my face and it's picking up my bronzer every time I pick it up. Let's blend that out and put this freaking hair back. Thank you. This concealer is amazing, and nobody talks about it, and I always talk about it, and I always also talk about how I don't have any writing on mine because I always use it, so I always have an extra one to show you guys. It is the KOKIE Cosmetics Double Time Full Cover Concealer. I personally love the shade Medium Beige. This is like your Tarte Shape Tape for under $10 and less drying. It's amazing. It's full coverage. It's so full coverage. It's so glam. But again, it's not like super drying. It's not going to be like a dewy hydrating type of concealer, but it's not going to be like super drying, and it definitely gets the job done. And honestly, I would pay a high-end price for this concealer if I'm being honest. It's so, so nice. And I do have an affiliate discount code. I always talk about my code when I talk about KOKIE because the code is really nice. It's 25% off if you want it. Again, it is affiliate. I would make a small commission off of it. Use it if you want. Don't use it if you don't want to. But if you're going to be shopping, you might as well get a discount if you want. I don't know what to tell you. I don't want to feel guilty for having a discount and offering it because I would feel guiltier not giving you a discount. Do we see this? I'm going to take whatever's extra and just kind of cutting the bronzer a little bit. Oh my gosh. I mean, oh my gosh. By the way, I know I'm going to get questions about this. This is a BK Beauty 113. I've been loving it for concealer, but I always like to tap off everything with a sponge. Always, you guys know me. Let's finish off with some cream / liquid blush that I would be paying some good money for because this is freaking amazing. Extremely underrated, and we're talking about this. These are the LA Girl Soft Matte Cream Blushes. I have the shade Grace and Blissful. I was thinking about using Blissful because it's more fall, but I think we're gonna do a cool toned eyeshadow look. Can you believe it? So I think we're gonna do this instead. So again, this is the shade Grace. A little bit goes such a long way, like be careful, but this is so freaking nice. Literally, this is all you need. You probably don't even need that much. Like, this will last you ever. I'm gonna dot it on my face and then we're gonna blend it out by just pouncing it in, and you guys will see the amazingness. Do we see this? Do we see this? And I love it because it's more of a soft matte finish. I mean, I think it's literally called soft matte. Yeah, soft matte. And so I like it because it's just such a nice finish. It doesn't dry your skin out, but it doesn't make it like overly dewy. It's so pigmented but blendable. I just love everything about it. I love mixing the shades together. You can actually also use this over powder. Sometimes I just add a little bit over my powdered makeup and it just brings kind of like everything back to life. It's so nice, it's so underrated, it's amazing, I love it. So for powder, I know everybody and their mother knows about the Maybelline loose powder, the Fit Me powder, but I think the pressed version doesn't get enough love, and I love a loose powder. I do use a loose powder all the time, but for under the eyes, I just love pressed powder. Pressed on my under eyes, and so today that's what we'll be using. This is the Maybelline Fit Me. I have the shade 100 translucent because you can never go wrong with the translucent, and by the way, it does come with a mirror and a puff. We will never be using this puff, but it's nice to have, and the mirror is actually really, really nice. I'm going to blend out any creases that I have and just start setting my under eyes, my eyelids, and really just the whole face. I love a good, nice powdered face, and this is not going to be drying, but it will be nice and blurring. See how beautiful it looks? It's like set and blurred, but it still has life to the skin. Like, what else could you want from a powder? For the powder bronzer, I decided to pick this one because I believe it's $10 or like $10.50, but it's really, really nice, and it's one of the best bronzers at the drugstore, so I figured like for like 50 cents we would make do. This is the Maybelline City Bronzer. I have the shade 300. Listen, it's a really nice bronzer, but it's very, very pigmented, so just go in with a light hand, but it's a nice like pigmented matte bronzer. This shade is perfection. Olive skinned girlies, this shade is perfection. So let's go ahead and use a very fluffy brush, again because it's very pigmented, with a very light hand to warm up the face. Beautiful. Alrighty, so now we are bronzed, and you guys know I just love powder, cream powder, so now we're gonna do some powder blush. That is so nice and so inexpensive. Today we're going to be using another product that doesn't have any writing on it because it's so good. It's the Essence Pure Nude Baked Blush. This one's in the shade Rosy Rosewood. They do have two different formulas. One is more of like a satin finish, kind of like this one. Very natural satin. And then they also have more like true mattes. This one's really nice and I love the shade, so that's what we'll be using today to rose up the cheeks. But see how you can still see like the blush from the LA Girl. This blush will not go anywhere. I love it. So now we're going to top it off with some Essence to make our cheeks nice and rosy. What I really like about this formula is that it's more of a buildable blush. I feel like we don't really get that anymore. And this one, it's, if you don't have like a cream blush under, you definitely have to build it up a little bit more, but it always looks good. It's giving like Hourglass. If I'm being honest, it's giving Hourglass. It's giving just like candle lit type of glow. I love it, and like I said, even though it is buildable, I can sit here and build it all day and it will never look too heavy or dry or anything like that. It's just so nice. If you want to do like the cold girl aesthetic, this one's for you. For brows, we're actually going to be using a brow pencil today, which I don't use that often. I usually use a tinted brow gel, but because we used a clear brow gel, we're going to use a pencil today. And this is actually a recent find. So this is a brow pencil from Revlon. I know it's hard to see, but it's called the Color Stay Micro Brow Pencil. I have the shade medium brown. It is one of those micro pencil. It has a spoolie and it's a tiny little pencil, and it's literally like $6, and it's so nice. And I definitely don't think that you should be paying that much money, especially for like a brow pencil, let alone a micro brow pencil. See how it's just creating those hair-like strokes? I think that these little micro pencils are so nice for like a very defined and also a natural brow. I think you can go both ways with it because of the precision, but because it's such like a small brow pencil, I think that the drugstore is always the way to go with these products, and this one is so nice. It works perfectly. I do a little bit of lining at the bottom, and then I just kind of start flicking up until I get the shape that I want. And again, it does have a spoolie. So for eyeshadow, I knew what eyeshadow palette I wanted to use, but I almost went the warm vibe, which I know a lot of you guys appreciate, but I also know a lot of you guys want me to like try new things, and so I picked the coolest eyeshadow palette I could find for the price range with the amazing formula, and the price point, everything about it, it's this. This is the Milani Gilded Mini. They have a bunch of these with like different shade ranges with different finishes, and it's just such a nice formula. I love the concept. I love the amount of shades. Everything about it's amazing, and of course the price point is even better. So let's do a maybe more of like a holiday-esque type of eyeshadow look. Well, let's do like a cool tone smoky eye look, okay? Do not kill me for this. The only thing, I know we're going cool tone. I don't want to use this shade as my transition, so I'm just going to grab the bronzer that we use just for a very, very slight wash of color already. And I also did put a little bit on my lower lash line. Now I'm going to go with the same fluffy brush and grab this shade, the matte brown, but I'm only going to grab like the smallest amount, and I'm going to do the exact same thing over that bronzer because I don't want to like go too dark. These are very pigmented, but I'm just trying to diffuse that bronzer so it's like a lot more cool tone and it goes more with the look. But when I'm telling you, these are so pigmented, so go in with the lightest hand. With a small brush, I'm going to grab the brown matte shade again, and I'm just going to start like tapping it on and smoking out the outer corner. I'm just going to start slow and build it because again, very, very pigmented, but we're going to be doing a really pretty cool tone smoky eye. I mean, hopefully it's really pretty. Now we're going to grab this little matte white shade. It's more of like a cool tone cream shade, and I'm just going to put this on the like inner half of the eye to brighten it up because I want to brighten this up a little bit before we use any shimmer. I think what I'm going to do is maybe go in with the pink first and go in with my finger. And again, I'm not going to like build it up with like a wet brush or anything because I mostly just want like a wash of it. I don't want it to look too structured. I'm going for like a little bit of a grunge vibe. Obviously this is not like super grungy, but just a little bit. And then I think I'm going to grab the lighter one and just put a little bit on the inner corner and then just blend it out just to give me the tiniest bit of like a little gradient. Very, very pretty. I think it's going to look even prettier when we put a little bit of black on it. And I'm going to grab the black, which has a little bit of shimmer in it, but I think it's more of a matte. And I'm going to line my lash line because we're going to skip out on like liquid liner today. And then a little bit of this black we're going to bring up a little bit just because I'm trying to give myself more of like an upturned eye, again, without doing a winged liner. Okay, and then whatever is just left on this brush that I've been kind of doing the dark shades with, I'm just going to put a little bit on the outer corner. And then I guess for the inner corner, we'll just use the same palette. I'm not going to wet my brush, but I'm going to do a little bit of this shade just to add a little bit of brightness in here. But again, I don't want to go too bright, believe it or not. I don't know why. I kind of want to leave it a little bit of a darker look. So for eyeliner, I will never stop raving about this. This is a newer eyeliner and I cannot get enough. It is from Essence. It's the Stay and Play eyeliner, gel liner, waterproof, long lasting. They have so many beautiful shades. I'm going to use the shade Black Raven, which is just a black shade, to tightline my waterline. When I tell you that Essence did not come to play with this eyeliner, well, Stay and Play. They're playing games because this is stunning. Okay, I'm gonna curl my lashes and we're gonna move on to mascara. Okay, so for mascara, we're gonna be using the Essence Lash Like a Boss. This is more of a volumizing mascara in my opinion. It's not gonna give the most length, but it will make it look like you have 1,000 eyelashes without a bunch of clump. And I did want to say, I don't want to put waterproof on right now, but the waterproof version is my go-to waterproof mascara because it just looks so good, and it is waterproof, but you can actually take it off fairly easily. So this line is just great, and of course it's extremely affordable. This is what the wand looks like, and let's go ahead and apply 2 coats. As you guys already know, I just love building up my mascara. We're not gonna do falsies today, so I'm just gonna build this up and you guys will see the magic. Do you guys see what I mean about how it just, maybe it's not like the most lengthening, but it definitely adds a lot of like volume and it doesn't look like super clumpy. I will say, as much as I do like this mascara, I do prefer the waterproof version. There is something in that waterproof version that just literally makes you look like you're wearing like false lashes, in the sense that you just look like you have so many lashes. This one is still really, really nice, but if you do, if you are thinking about like which one to get, if you do like waterproof mascara, you're gonna love that one. So all we have to do is do a lip combo and set the face. I think for lip liner, we're gonna be using this one, which is the LA Girl Shockwave liner. They have so many beautiful nude shades. Today we're gonna be using the shade Coquette because we're gonna be going for more of like a cool tone look, of course. These are so nice, so pigmented, so creamy, so affordable, and so long lasting. Nothing bad to say about these. These are honestly so creamy that you could wear it just like as a lip color, but what I like about it is that yes, they're creamy, but they like dry down actually, so they're very, very long lasting. Okay, so for lipstick, we're gonna be using one of these two, but these are the Milani like fetish lipsticks. I pulled out 2 different shades because I didn't know which shade to use, but these are pigmented, creamy, matte, affordable, just lovely. So this is the shade Tease, which is more of like a brownie shade. I'm gonna swatch them to see which one we should use. Oh, that might be a really, really good shade for this look. And then more of a pinky vibe is the shade Pleasure. I do love a pinky. Let's see. Ooh, this one's a little bit peachy. So we're gonna be using the shade Tease. Okay, and let's go ahead and apply this. And they smell so nice. Ooh, this is a really, really good little matte combo. So pretty. It goes perfectly with the look, but we are going to add a gloss because I can't pretend like these lip oils didn't come out just now and they're stunning. You guys already know what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this one. So this is brand new from e.l.f. They are their Glow Reviver lip oil. They're like $8 and they're so nice. They do have like sheer formulas and then more creamy formulas. Today we're going to be using a creamy in the shade Honey Talks. So pretty. I love it. And these actually smell and taste like mint. Alrighty guys, so that is the final result. I love the look that we came up with. It's such like a pretty cool tone, smoky, like kind of like a natural smoky glam. The whole face looks amazing. You would think that we use high-end products. These products are so amazing. Hopefully this video was helpful and it helps out with your budget. I will link everything down below as always. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so, so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.